Many university students are expressing concern over a recent crime report by university police that says 0 forcible rapes have been reported since 2012.
I think I know that's false because I know people who've been raped on this campus this semester.
Some students are saying that this report shows a fault on the police and the university.
I think it looks really good for the university to not have any sexual assault or rape counts, especially for incoming freshmen when they're looking at colleges that they want to go to. It looks really good that there's no chance of it happening to them. But statistics tell you, whatever statistic you look at, 1 in 3 or 1 in 4 women will experience sexual assault in their lifetime. So 0 in the past year is pretty unlikely.
I just think that the police are trying to cover up what actually does happen here. That has happened on several occasions, with student deaths and stuff.
It confuses me and kind of angers me because I know of someone that has been raped, and just because I know one person doesn't mean that there are multiple people, obviously. And I think it's kind of inappropriate for the university police to be making that claim.
The University Health Center's Care to Stop Violence program helps sexual assault victims, and the coordinator offered an explanation to some students' skepticism.
The fact that since our jurisdiction has expanded, there have been sexual assaults that have already happened, on campus. And when I say on campus, I mean the campus in general plus the expanded jurisdiction. So, it wouldn't necessarily make sense that the statistic is 0, but it's 0 from a police perspective because they haven't had anything reported to them. But, we've had stuff reported to us because we're kind of that safe, confidential space.
Many students agree that a major factor that may contribute to the underreporting of rape is fear.
I know a lot of people that have gone through things such as sexual harassment, things like that, and instead of going to somebody or saying things, kind of just keep to themselves. So based on my personal experiences, I know that a lot of people are afraid to speak up based on what other people might think of them or might say.
It's scary to report being sexually assaulted or raped.
People may not want to report that it happened, but I believe that it actually happened. So people may not always report what actually happened because they're scared what could happen to them.
I think it'd be really intimidating for somebody to have been violated or experience some victimization and then go talk to a police officer who's in a uniform, probably intimidating, just by the fact that they're police and in a uniform, and kind of for them to tell their story. And there's very compassionate officers that exist on the University of Maryland's public safety department, but just that fact alone might deter a victim.
Despite this fear, some victims have told their stories to other students.
One of my friends got really drunk, and this guy that's friends with one of her friends raped her, and apparently her friend and this guy have been planning it for weeks. Yeah. So she got raped and she didn't know, and then she finally started piecing everything together, and she asked him did you rape me? He was like, yeah, but you were asking for it, you were drunk.
Friend went to a party that was thrown by her. She got really drunk. Her friends put her in the room so she can just compose herself, and she wakes up and the dude's on top of her, and she's screaming and crying. While she's screaming and crying, he shoves his in her mouth, and it was just when she bit it, and he roughed her up and kicked her out of the place, and as he did that, he was just calling her a slut and all this. And I know that it's true. She was so because of who this dude was, she was just so scared to do anything about it. And to this day, I hate the fact that he's walking out. And I don't know. It's just really sad.
This person was out at a party and they drank something, and apparently it might have been laced with something, and they don't really remember the full night, but they know that they ended up the next morning in an unfamiliar person's bed with their clothes off, and they did get a rape kit done, and they did find something there.
University Police Chief David Mitchell says he's aware the Uniform Crime Report statistic may not reflect actual campus crime rates, and that the police department is working on the issue.
We can't investigate what we don't know about. And we are fully aware that when we say 0 rapes, that that's probably not true, but that's 0 reported rapes. We're not saying it never happened. We're saying it was never reported to us. We have detectives that are specifically trained in sexual assault investigation, and we stand ready to stand with and behind any victim, man or woman, of any sex offense committed within our jurisdiction.
Many other students have reported knowing people who have been raped this year. Both Care to Stop Violence and the University Police say they will continue to work together to deal with cases that go unreported. For the Diamondback, I'm Michelle Chavez.